All right, let's cut the crap. No fluff. We all know that SmallHD is a premium brand. But are they perfect? No. Have they missed the mark at times? Yes. But I'm here to tell you, yes, you, the upcoming filmmaker, the person who's looking to jump into the next monitoring system, even the guys that hate SmallHD with a burning passion. I'm here to tell you why it's actually worth it. Let's get into it. Okay, so to set some expectations of how this video is going to go, I'm mainly going to be talking about the Smart 5 series, which is the newer line of 5-inch monitors that SmallHD released last year, and the integration of Page OS 5. So I own the ND5, which is the entry level of their Smart 5 series monitors. Starting at $1,200, you get an intuitive touchscreen, SDI in and out, HDMI in and out, an SD card slot, a headphone jack, dual MPF battery slots, DC power, a locking switch, and 1000 nits of brightness. And what you all mainly notice, some thick behind bezels.
Damn, boy, he's thick!
Other two monitors do have similar features, but some of them are very different, and we'll get to that a little bit later in the video. Now, with all that out of the way, here's why I think getting into the SmallHD system is worth it. Now, Page OS 5 has a lot of useful tools. It almost feels endless with the amount of customizations you have. But the best thing that SmallHD has done is add EL Zone to their monitors. EL Zone was created by cinematographer Ed Lockman. I highly recommend watching the Inner Circle podcast with Shane Hilbert. I always get his name messed up. But with Ed as well, he goes into a much deeper dive of why this came about and explains everything about EL Zone, and it's worth listening to. But I'm gonna do my best to kind of sprinkle a little bit of that into this video and explain where this is all going.
IRE and false color, which I call false exposure. Everybody has a different interpretation of what false color is. The colors are not the same for manufacturer.
Consistency at all.
Even the percentage of IRE is not the same between manufacturers. And guess what? When I did the research, what IRE stands for, it's the International Radio Engineers from 1895 that tracked lightning.
Now, I don't know about you, but if you notice, if you use different cameras and different monitors and they all have some form of a false color, you'll notice that it's different from manufacturers and brands. And that's one of the issues I've had with false color, is that it's not standardized across each board. Sometimes certain colors don't mean the same thing from another camera. And it's just little annoyances that just don't make sense of how to read it as an exposure chart. This is where EL Zone stumps false color and kicks it out of the bar. Now with EL Zone, it shows exposure values of the entire scene. It makes light level adjustments a lot easier. It goes from 18% gray to 6 stops over and under. This ultimately maps your exposure to exactly what's in your frame and stops. So what's the big deal?
When SmallHD came on board with this, it was godsend, because now I could map the exact exposure of the frame in stops, because everything that we work with is still in stops.
Correct.
The way you communicate to your gaffer. I don't talk to a gaffer, I need IRE such and such number on. We talk in stops. If you use a meter or not, your camera is your light meter.
Exactly. Hey, give me another half stop out of that backlight.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
So on the set, we still talk in stops. Even when you're in post, you talk in stops about how you want to bring it down or bring it up.
Now, it's funny that not a lot of companies are adapting EL Zone to their cameras or to their monitors, which tells me how much SmallHD is trying to push that and adding features that are going to help the creator in the end run. And that's the most important thing. And I really appreciate a company that does that, like SmallHD. Before I talk about how to set up the EL Zone on your SmallHD monitor, I want to tell you about the giveaway that's happening on my Instagram with FrameSet. FrameSet has a large library of imagery from music videos, commercials, and movies. You use these mainly for your references in your pre-production. I like using FrameSet when putting together a commercial concept. Now, if you watch the podcast, Ed talks about how he uses images and he puts that into his EL zone to get an exposure map. So you can do the same trick with the SmallHD monitors. You can upload an image and then you just put the EL zone on top of it, and then there you go. So if there's images that you like on FrameSet, you could do the same thing here. So I highly recommend checking that out. Now there's a link below if you want to sign up for FrameSet and have a trial, and there's the details for the giveaway and the link to my Instagram for you to enter. Okay, let's get back to the setup. All right, here we are with the monitor settings. One thing you need to note, if you're using Fujifilm, you must update to 5.4.1. That allows you to have F-Log2 settings in here as a log profile, which is pretty awesome. So go to your settings, go to feed, and then go under feed under pipe, color pipe, click OK. You want to hit a new one, so new, and that's going to be defaulted to Rec 709. You want to change that to log. So input type, change to log. In this case, you have those popular cameras, but now you have Fujifilm. Add that to Fujifilm, and then we're going to go back, and then we're going to go up here to the target, and since you're HDMI, we can change that target to F-Log2. And let's come out of that. You have one more thing to do. Go to one of your pages, wherever you have your exposure tool. We're just going to add a new tool for this page. And we're going to go to expose and then exposure assist, add to this page. We're going to go back over into it. We're going to go to style, and then we're going to go all the way over here to EL zone. But yeah, that's how you set up your EL zone on your monitor. Same process for the ND5, Cine 5, Ultra 5, and then the 7-inch monitors as well. But definitely check which monitors are able to have this feature. It's on the website. SmallHD is respected in the film industry. Red and Ari have collaborated with SmallHD over the years to make high-end monitors for their high-end cameras. So their reputation and collaborations with high-end brands tend to give them the benefit of new innovation, quality feedback, and bringing new types of technology to their monitors. And thinking of it that way, this ensures me that when I buy a SmallHD monitor, I know that there's going to be updates and future features that are going to come to it that are going to really help what I need to do as a filmmaker, and the tools that are going to support my work. And that's really exciting to think about, to be honest. All right, so getting down to the durability of these monitors, which is a massive improvement over the years from other 5-inch monitors that SmallHD has made. Granted, there have been some very popular ones like the 503, so this is a continuation of that quality, but I feel like this is a much more better improvement. There's a lot more features packed into these things. And I love the fact that the ports are all at the bottom. It just makes it much more cleaner, much more streamlined. So I have with me the ND5, this one's mine, and then this is the Cine 5. The main differences between these two, these still are 10-bit panels, all three of them are. The Ultra is 10-bit as well. I love how I said differences, but I'm talking about what's the same. The differences come with the brightness. This is 2,000 nits, and this is only 1,000 nits. I did use this in LA, bright sunny day in LA. Actually, Caleb used it, and there wasn't too much of an issue. There was a sun hood on here. 1,000 nits did okay, but 1,000 nits is 1,000 nits. You can't really get around that. 2,000 nits is a great space, and then 3,000 nits is even better. But you have a dedicated port here for camera control, and then you have a 2-pin LEMO versus just a DC port here for powering if you're not using the battery slots here. Another physical difference is that you have an actual return button on the Cine 5 and a joystick, which is quite nice actually, because sometimes touching the screen gets a little annoying, and then having a joystick to kind of navigate through. I like this combination of both, but the Ultra 5 is the real sweet spot because you have 3 function buttons and a jog toggle along with a touch screen, and it's just built really well. Now, all these are built really well. Like I said, the chassis are aluminum, feel really durable. The thing that gets me a little bugged out is that the back plates are just plastic, like a hard plastic. And I've noticed from my model, from just really using it, I use it almost every day, especially I bring it with me on set wherever I go. After a while, I've noticed there's cracking around the screws here on the back plate. And I did drop this. And here's a testament to what it is. I'll give a close-up. But I did drop this, and it's still holding its own. Nothing's wrong with the screen, anything like that. But yeah, I just, I think over time, this plastic is going to start to break and crack because of how it gets hot or if you drop it, stuff like that. So that's my worry pain point here on these monitors is this back plate. But outside of that, you have a very durable screen. It's bright, it's crisp, it's clear. Now, I know I'm mentioning all the higher end monitors too, and I won't forget to mention about the Action 5, which is SmallHD's budget monitor. Basically, it goes for like a little over $300. I made a full review about it last year. It's still on this channel. I still stand by a lot of those points that I made in that video. Major difference is that you don't have Page OS 5. So it's just really stripped down, really basic. It is geared towards people who are just getting into SmallHD and getting their first monitor. Now, there are other monitors in this price point that have a lot more features, but this does have over 2000 nits of brightness. It's lightweight, and there are nice updates that they made since the development of this monitor. So I just want to throw that out there. Would I recommend it? If you have $300 to spend and you want to get your first SmallHD monitor, yes, I would say get it. But there are, again, other options. But when it comes to these high-end monitors, way better. I mean, once you start using Page OS 5, you don't want to use anything else, to be honest. That's just me. So just the major points you want to take away from this video is that SmallHD is always going to be looking for new technology. They're always collaborating with the higher brands, and they can get this information and feedback to put into their monitors. You're always going to get high-quality monitors built really well, built to last, and the ability for integration and camera control as well as wireless transmission. So all these things, this ecosystem that's being built on these monitors through SmallHD is really worth checking out. It's almost like an heirloom for your career. You can get this and then let it grow with you. Rarely do you grow out of monitors so often, and so might as well spend the money to get what you want to get now for the quality rather than spend cheaply and then have to spend it again and again if it breaks or burns out and this, that, and the other. So those are my points. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. See ya.